are again. A little later than usual. I had to reapply a bandage on my finger. I cut it real good this morning on another rather sharp piece of cardboard, although this one was not a big box kind of cardboard. This one was a divider kind of cardboard, like you stick it in between a whole bunch of stuff in a box, and it was well, sharp as a knife, actually. So I don't know who decided that was a good idea, but I think they need to rethink their boxing strategy. Just a thought. Anyway, we'll get started in like a minute and a half.
Asaki
Okay,
bounce, Asaki
let's load
bounce,
up, shall we?
Asaki bounce, Asaki bounce.
After Marie resubscribes. Thank you for resubscribing, Marie. That is 15 months. That would make you quindecachromatic or something like that. I don't know the official, actual terminology, but something like that. In any case, thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome back. We are just about ready to load up. As a matter of fact, we're ready to load up right now. You know, that loading screen talks about people being worthy in the rights, and that allows them to return from the downside to freedom. Who determines worthiness in this case? Is it just worthiness in terms of your physical prowess and the ability to take on the rights? Because if that's the case, someone like me, who's at the moment kind of lame, literally because my legs are still like broken, Swiss cheese, yeah, not really gonna work out for me too well, is it? How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Pyre the Stream Edition. Last time we continued our journey north. We actually managed to make our vessel seaworthy and sailed across the entire Sea of Solus to this lava pit of a place at the Nest of Trieste. But today we're going to move on from this place to the winding woods to the west of here. So that's where we're going. Let's do it. Sounds like a ton of fun, and I mean that very facetiously. Let's see. Cautions that the one path down the cliffs is rather treacherous. Well, let's hope this old wagon's fit for it. Off we go, down the Sulphur Main. We've already stopped. That's not good. Oh boy. Yeah, I can imagine she wouldn't be too pleased. We're just hitting setback after setback, aren't we? I will do the best I can. I don't exactly have the leverage you do here. Okay, She didn't need my help after all. Good work. I hope you're right. Well, he's gonna wait until this wagon is ready to go again, actually. And apparently he doesn't mind, so... Fair enough. Advise on which of the forked paths is best. Oh, good. There's a fork in the road. Fantastic. So the Waking Wood is here, and that's where we need to go. There's unknown areas all over the place out here, and we have a choice to make. Sir Gilman wants to dig up something valuable, and Pamitha says she can procure a talisman here. I think if I remember right, this is the one where you get kind of a crap talisman out of this one from Pamitha. There's another one coming up where it's definitely worth it because you can get one of the best talismans in the game, but I think if I remember right, this one's not so good. Although I suppose either way we'll be able to sell the talisman, so maybe I should just go that way anyway. But I'm trying to think now, because there is an area that I'd like to stop in here in the Waking Wood, and if I recall correctly, you have to go through Flamberg to get there. It's a good spot, one of the only good spots from my understanding in the game to actually forage. So I might go do that instead. I'd have to remember. I didn't, you know what, I was telling myself before I started the stream, I need to look up where the good spots are for foraging, because there are certain talismans you can only get by foraging. And then I just didn't do it, so... Whoops. Excuse me. You know what? Let's take a chance with the Glass Peak. How about that? Again, at the very least, we can sell the talisman that we get here. So, how did we end up over there if we were over there? Anyway. So, what do you have stored up here, Pamitha? Yeah, fair enough. Go for it. And what did you find for me? Thank you. It is a fairy spirit. After the bearer banishes an adversary, spawn a moon drop, which briefly grants unlimited stamina, worth 35 coins. Not really a big deal to me. Moon drops are nice, but the fact that you have to go out and collect it, and your enemies can then also go out and collect it, not so good for me. The flavor text is nice, though, because as fairies presumably do not exist, it is likely they came to no harm in the creation of this talisman. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, let's continue on our journey through this winding place. So we're in the Waking Wood, but... well, I would hope that he would have met us at the edge, considering... And what's keeping him, do you think? Okay, so he'll probably follow... Can he follow the stars? Is he a stargazer as well? I mean, I gotta imagine, since he's kind of told us what path to go this entire time. 2 possible paths forward, but the woods are difficult to navigate. Oh, okay, never mind. We got it anyway. Needlefield is the place that you can go searching for talismans later, so... Sandalwood resided here, but also studied the rites here. So, well, since I need to go here anyway, we might as well go through here on the way to the Glade of Lou and see if it lets us stop off anywhere. This might be the faster path, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so let's go up here. And see where we end up. I mean, if he practiced the rites here, then maybe he's practicing still, so... Okay, well, fair enough. If he... Yeah, I was going to say, if we can even find where he is, so... Well, that's unfortunate. Great. So we can't go forward, so now we have to go backward to a different in a different direction. Fun. Jay wants to go to the Burnt Grove, drawn to the location, and Tizo wants to go to the Under Thicket. So the last time we had a choice between Jay and Tizo, I allowed Tizo to go fishing. So I kind of want to go to the the Burnt Grove, so that Jay can check it out. So I think we'll go there. Sorry, Tizo. Not trying to tell you you don't know where you're going. He actually probably does know where he's going, but let's let Jay have a look. And we can pursue vocations, perhaps, after we sift through the ashes. But first, the Beyonder Crystal seeks Jodario. No new page, but we have a new scribe trial, so we'll go take a look at that. Before we do, though, let's give her the moon crest, because that usually works out pretty well for us. Who's got the moon crest? You've got the moon crest. There you go. We'll hold on to the fairy spirit for now. I'll probably just toss it at Ron once we get there. Man, this moon crest should be really good for Jodario on this part, though, because she's kind of... It doesn't have the best hope, that's for sure. It's a good thing, then, that most of the hope that she had lost previously is now back. So, like, she got it back after the last rite, so that's good. Sir Gilman, you're probably going to be coming with us in the next rite because you're kind of low on stuff, and then Pamitha, you're definitely coming with us for the next rite because you're 50 experience points away. Oh boy, still think that's a bit... Now, okay, so I mentioned last time that her entire character is that she's a big tease. That's not entirely true. It's just that at the beginning of your introduction with her, she's a big tease because of that, specifically. So, as for Sandra, well, I don't know if she wants to tease me while she's in here. She probably wants to tease Jodario instead, but let's see what's on her mind first. And what's that? How long you've been imprisoned here? So, don't think I'm not paying attention here, Sandra. The last time we had a conversation, you mentioned the Empire of Sar, which hasn't really been a thing for a while at this point. As a matter of fact, it's been close to, what, like 800 years, if I recall correctly? And it says you're guessing at an absurd number here. I'm using some previous knowledge that I would have in character to know that, yeah, the Empire of Sar fell a long time ago, so that means you've been in here even longer. You could have guessed any of the other ones, but this is the closest one to the actual answer, so... I didn't mean any disrespect by it, I just figured if you mentioned the Empire of Sar... Oh, okay. So how long have you... 837 years stuck in this crystal. Jesus, man, that's not good. Yeah, well, fair enough. It's not like you guys have much else to do in here. Maybe that was disrespectful, sorry. And what's that? Oh, so that's why you're in here, because you tried to kill the Emperor. Fun. Why would they stick you in here? What did you do that was worse than every other person that tried to kill Solium, or... Well, maybe we'll find out later. Anyway, you have a scribe trial for me, or more specifically for Jodario. Okay, will do. I think I already know because it highlighted her right away. So in we go. I'll go get her. Yeah, she's a little on the high-strung side, but don't tell her I said that because she will kill me and then you'll have no one to talk to. Jodario, hello, thank you for coming to this. What is the meaning of this? We're about to find out. Never going to get used to that black hole sensation. Alright, we're in. How much damage do we have to do this time? Okay, so that's 3 times in. Alright. Well, actually, in here, it's just you and me, so... And yeah, actually, we get a little more information about Sandra the Unseeing now. She's an apparition from the age of the Emperor Solium Mur, who pursued him in his exile, and then ended up in here somehow. Great. She was pretty good at it back home. Oh boy. Man, she's really digging at the little nerves there, isn't she? Let's show her how wrong she is, huh, Jodario? 3 harps. Well, I guess that makes sense. Nope. Okay, now you can have the ball. Oh, okay. She jumped in as soon as I spawned. I was like, I might be able to actually get her, but nope. You're gonna have to do better than that, dear. It's a good thing I managed to get the both of them, because otherwise I would have had to go through the both of them. Gotcha. And we have extra stamina because of that one buff that we got for Jodariel at rank 3 once she banishes an adversary, so that helps a little bit. Like that. Okay, get me out of there so that... Oh, okay, I didn't have my aura back. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, we still only have one more exchange to do, so that's fine. We should be able to get them, especially if I get the both of them right there. I'm just gonna gloat. Goodbye. Toss it in, Jodariel. Noxalis. Good work. Let's hope that was a good enough test for you. I am never satisfied. I have been in here forever. Fair enough. Thank you, Sandra. Let's see what kind of a prize we get this time. Last time, she gave me something that turned Ruki into a sniper rifle. So this time, well, it probably won't be as good as the Ashen Coal for Jodariel, but we will see anyway what it is. You can say that again. I've already had that happen with me and Ruki, and it was, something. Yeah, I should probably get used to seeing these things in my hand after this happens, shouldn't I? So for completing Jodariel's scribe trial, we get Solium's Horn. That's kind of gruesome, but sure, that's not good. So now she casts her aura farther and faster than usual when she attacks. I'm not a big fan of this one, to be honest, because, I mean, I had her attacking in there, but most of the time, instead of attacking, I would prefer to have her just shoulder tackle people with her aura. So, yeah, not really a big fan of this one. I'll probably just sell it for the 80 soul. Plus, the Ashen Coal is usually the defensive item I'd rather have on her anyway, so yeah, we'll just hold on to that. Although I don't think she's going to be coming with us for the next right, now that I think about it. It's probably... Who's going to come with me for the next one? I'm definitely bringing Sir Gilman, and I'm definitely bringing Pamitha. And then... I could bring Jay along, because she's the lowest out of anybody else. Yeah, I might do that, actually. So, let's try to figure out who I'm going to give what here. So... I might give this to Sir Gilman, although it might actually be better to have him take the Fairy Spirit, honestly. Because he'll be the one that's banishing people if he's going to do any of that. You should keep the Kerfang because it's good for your attacking, so you can have the Ashen Coal. And you can have the Fairy Spirit for now. And we'll sell the Fairy Spirit once I get something that works a little better than it. A lot of the legendary talismans will work better than that sort of stuff, but we'll get there. No big deal. Okay, so, Jay, you wanted to sift through the ashes here. Let's see what we can find. Are you talking about sandalwood? Yeah, it's a fair question. What does it say? Let's take a look. A strip of bark from inside the ashes. Oh, wow, that's fancy. A bark strip must mean something. The inside piece of the bark says, "Come to Cinderroot, S." So I guess Sandalwood knows we're here, and he wants us to go to Cinderroot. Fair enough. Let's see if we can find it. Seems to be written on a piece of bark, so... We didn't go to Cinderroot just yet, did we? I don't think so. But it's a hushed clearing south of the Glade of Lu, which is where the next rite takes place. The grounds are well-traveled by saps, knowledgeable in the rites. Okay. Interesting. Wonder who these saps are. You'll be able to engage soon enough. Shift is almost over. Oh, that's okay, Marie. Take care of your shift first. That's more important. Probably by the time you get here, we'll be to the next rite. So there you go. Probably a good idea. These woods seem to be very shifty, so let's rest up and work on our vocations. This is not the spot where I wanted to work on vocations. I wanted to work on them over here in Needlefield so I could forage, but since we're here, let's do some mentoring, shall we? But who should I mentor? Let's see here. So, try to keep everybody as even as we can here. And a lot of the people that are up at rank 3 now, they won't quite be able to approach rank 4 without multiple training sessions. So I could mentor Sir Gilman and get him to rank 2 so he can pick a mastery. Or probably the better option would be to mentor Pamitha, because her first rank skill that I like to get for her is very, very good for her. So we'll probably mentor her. Let's see. She'll get up to 1950. She won't be quite at rank 3, but she'll be a little closer than everybody else. And then we can take her in the next right, and she'll be up at like 2,500. So that won't be too bad. She'll be pretty close. So let's mentor you. Sounds like a plan, Pamitha. Let's see what we can teach you from the book here. Oh, we can pass the Celestial Orb. Okay, well, I don't know if we want her to be passing too much, but if she gets into trouble, it might not be a bad idea. Alright then. How do you feel? Yeah, I don't think she would like too much that you guys are going to be equals eventually, but hey, it's okay. Just rub it in her face. Alright, so, Mastery for Pamitha. I believe that the left side tree is a little bit better for her, honestly. She gets her blessings from St. Triesta Tithys, who was the sort of like godmother, well, more like the ancestor to all of the harps, so. She can pick from the wings of the matriarch or the ways of the high wing. So these are more battle item type of a dealies. And eventually, so Pamitha has options here. Basically, if you take her down the attacker path, she'll eventually get natural superiority, which gives her just +4 to most of her stats, except for glory, which just kind of makes her a better character all around. She has higher presence, higher quickness, higher hope. If you take her up the wings path instead, she's usually better used to score up the wings path, and then she gets greater celerity, which gives her a +8 boost to her quickness, which almost doubles her speed in battles, which is incredible. This is nice for the other extra stuff, but really you only need her for quickness. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's the way that I prefer to build her. So we'll probably take her up this path to get to greater celerity, and then we'll worry about getting Winged Fury, which probably won't really use it all that much. I mean, maybe if I dash into people, but it does give her an extra speed boost, so it would incentivize doing that. The main one that you want to take as soon as possible for her is Swift Flight, because while flying, she moves faster than usual. So you remember how I said last time you're going to want to make sure she's in the air as much as possible, especially when she's plunging into the pyre? This is one reason, because now she moves even faster. Yes, I'm aware. I sometimes wonder the veracity of putting my brain into yours for a minute, basically. I feel like I'm controlling you, but I don't know. Feels like that's... If there was a Geneva Convention in this world, I'd be violating it, but probably not in this case. Alright, guess we rested up, got some vocations done. Let's press forward, shall we? And it looks like we can make it to Cinderroot now that the trees have cleared, so let's take a look. And we think Sandalwood may have come through here, so let's go meet the big man face to face, shall we? About time. Only took us till almost the end of the first cycle. Or I could have been speaking too soon. Well, that's not good. Alright, hang on. Everybody spread out. He's got to be here somewhere. He told us to meet him here. What's up, Tizo? Oh, okay. Are you going to go attack somebody again? If you are, they're laughing at you, which is unfortunate. Tizo, are you... Oh, okay. So I guess he knows this Sandalwood guy, if this is Sandalwood. Yeah, sorry, we've all had an exhaustive search today. So this is a sap, a tree-like creature known for their ingenuity, cleverness, and ambition. They're descendants of the scribe Luce Galorian. Having allied with them, the Commonwealth achieved in decades what it could not achieve in centuries. They've apparently got a very large amount of technological expertise, at least compared to the rest of us, so... Oh, okay, good. Probably got him another fish of some kind. But yeah, this is Sandalwood, or to use his full name, Volfrid Sandalwood, the Lone Minstrel's client, Headwind's informant, and the leader of the Nightwings. Alright then, hi. Good to finally see you face to face. They bring color to my days, but not color to my face, sir. I can't sense his thoughts. That's a little weird. I could sense Pamethas. Oh, hello. Are you sure? Because, I don't know, I feel like they've been... I feel like I'm contributing in some way. Well, where am I supposed to go, exactly? Especially with my legs still halfway in crutches here. Have I been adequately compensated for... I feel like I don't know what to say here. I feel like I'm being dismissed outright. What the hell? I don't know. I feel like I don't know about the whole been assured my freedom. I categorically refuse to be cast aside so easily, but I don't know. I feel like I belong with this group for a little bit here, Mr. Sandalwood. I don't feel like I can just give up on them. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, I feel like there's still more to be done. I've only just gotten here, after all. And also, yeah, they're the ones that had the wagon. I came along a little bit later, but... Thanks, Edwin. Something to that effect, I suppose. Yeah, it's not exactly something you can stick a monetary value on. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, it feels like you just soured the occasion a little bit, but okay, let's start over then, shall we? Fair enough. Yeah, I think I have a few conflicting emotions, because we just found this guy and already he's like, okay, it's my job to do the rest of this. It's like, what the fuck? He knows much of the rights. Whether or not he's actually going to share them, let's find out. Let's welcome him aboard, I don't want to say tentatively, but apprehensively, I suppose. Because, I don't know, something about this guy, it's rubbing me the wrong way. But anyway, we made it to the Glade of Lou. And Volfrid's gonna let us all prepare without interfering, so fair enough, I suppose. We have another page revealed, the demon. The slug market's here. There is someone who wants to talk to me inside of here. Oh, it's Volfrid. Okay. Not going to interfere, huh? So I guess you're just going to hang out in here for now? Do you like the new digs? I suppose they were the same as the old digs that you had when you owned this wagon originally. So... yeah, I don't know. This place was starting to feel like home a little bit. Now all of a sudden I feel like a fish out of water in here. Mr. Sandalwood, I'm talking to you. Oh, he doesn't want to talk to me. Oh, okay, well thanks, Tariq. That's a good nod of approval, since you seem to be the only person he's listening to. So... I mean, we did make this thing into a boat. That isn't something that people normally do. We did the best we could, yeah. Well, good question. Where is Tizo? Hey, Tizo. Thanks, buddy. I guess I've got two nods of approval, so that's good. Is there something on my face, Mr. Sandalwood? Oh, okay, well, good then, I guess. To be fair, he probably needs to see if we can do okay in the rights anyway to make sure that he can leave the whole thing in my care, you know? So, Well, not exactly in his good graces yet. I'm sure we'll get there unless he has other plans. Take a look at the book. Next page is The Demon. Let me take a drink before we read it through. I missed the message there, Marie. Let me take a look. Let your sister play some more. Let's go, Eevee. It's as good as when I went through it. Too easy to be over-leveled AF, though. Hope catching Pokemon doesn't fucking shatter what semblance of balance Gen 9 has, yeah. Well, that's why I tried to make sure that when I went through it, I didn't catch a whole lot of stuff. Like, I caught some, just enough to keep me at a somewhat okay level. Although I kind of backfired, because I think at the end I was a little over-leveled. Like, I wanted to be about 55 by the Elite Four, and I think I was like 58 or something, so... Yeah, you want to catch a little less than I did to keep yourself at a relatively organic feeling level. So, the demon. Emperor Myrrh. Scarcely could I recognize him when at last I found him. A half-starved animal, horns sprouted from his head, a bestial mirror of his blackened reputation. And I, a man who conquered countries, feared my emperor then in such a way as I had never known. My charge had been to slay this man, but when I discovered him, he was already fighting for his life. The little imp Haub proved of little help against the Sisters of the Arch, whose entire lives were culminating in this instant. I was unable to watch. My heart ached with such pity for the man, and for the love I felt for him when I had served him, that I sprang to his defense. It's a bit of a 180 for you, Gull, not gonna lie, huh? Wonder what brought him to do that. I guess just the appearance of him feeling so despairful. Sandra, any thoughts? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. Sorry to bug you. I don't think I can bug her. I'm pretty sure I'm the only amount of engagement she gets nowadays. So, okay, let's take this off. Those are all sellable. Let's sort them so that the Mooncrest is over here. Whoop, hang on. I can't just do that with the items in this game, but it would be nice if I could. Anyway, you can keep the Fang for now. So, Ashen Coal for you. Fairy Spirit for you. And Kerfang for you. Yeah, okay, so we're good. Alright, well, that's just about it then. Let's see what the Slug Market's got going on and go get my 115 soul that I've got in my pocket for him. Actually, it's not 115 because I'm not going to sell the Fairy Spirit yet, unless I find something interesting in here. You have a new franchise here, so did you pick up and go with the old ones, or... Oh, he knows Volfred. Okay. Let's see what you got. A right light. Once per right, if the bearer's pyre is extinguished, it is instead restored by +5, and it starts at rank 5, so it will increase in amount the further along you upgrade it. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this one. I mean, it'd be nice if you were losing a lot more, but I don't usually, not to toot my own horn, but I don't usually lose in these cases, so. Alright, but we can, in fact, sell the bark strip to him. I mean, I guess it's got Volfred's autograph on it, so he might want it anyway. And then the real prize here is to sell Solium's horn for the 80 soul that we can get out of it. Yeah, that's much better. Well, I definitely want the Stardust, so let's take that. And then I might buy one of these other ones. I'm trying to think if I want the Scribe Rock for the extra presence. I might want that for Sir Gilman, actually, now that I think about it. So, and then, yeah, I don't think the rest of it's really all that worth it at the moment, so I'll take this, thank you. You're welcome. I mean, we could buy the Righteous Flame, but I think if I remember right, a little bit later, when we have a lot more money knocking around, there's an upgrade to this that we can get, so I'll probably go grab that instead. Alright, what are we going to upgrade here? And actually, while I'm thinking about that, I can unequip the Fairy Spirit now and give him the Scribe Rock, so he gets a little bit of extra presence for this, because it'll help with his slashes. And upgrading it even gets it to +3. If I remember correctly, if you upgrade it all the way up to rank 20 is the maximum for these, you can get it to up to +8 presence, which would probably be a significant upgrade to Sir Gilman's Slash, so we'll keep that in mind. But for now, we'll just stick this on here. It'll get us to rank 15 in the Ashen Coal, so that'll put us in good shape. And pretty soon it'll be 20, we won't have to worry about it anymore, and then we can start upgrading the other stuff that we've got, because Kerfang's probably my next priority. We might level it evenly with the Scribe Rock. And, although that's going to depend, because coming up there's another opportunity to earn a talisman. And if it's a good one, then we'll probably want to be upgrading that instead. But we'll see. Have a fairy spirit there, Ron. Don't worry, there are no fairies in it. I actually shouldn't say don't worry, because you could probably make a premium if there was, but you're welcome. I suppose he kind of ended up giving us a little bit of money at the end, didn't he? Oh, well. All right, I think we are all set and ready to go. Let's commence the next raid. See if we can show Volfrid what we're made of. Oh, good. One of the trees is moving, as if I needed other abject horrors to jump out at me. But it's not a tree. It's a sap. Yeah, about the roots of Luce Galorian. He was Luce Galorian 100 Minds, the third of the 8 scribes from the Book of Rites. He's known as the Wise or the Philosopher. He is said to have fathomed every thought, and his wisdom flows through the river of his name. Yeah, the river Scalorian is actually the river that runs all the way through this place in the northern sections of the downside. As a matter of fact, I think it even goes to the southern sections. It doesn't run into the Sea of Solace, though. We'll find out more about the river in a little while, but for now, just know that it runs down here in a lot of different places, but not into the sea. Oh yeah, who is this man here? Another sap by the look of it, with a fancy pompadour hairdo. This is H. Manly Tinderstolf. Did I say that correctly? Probably not. He's a sycophant who seems certain he will land a position of high standing once he is free. Uh-huh. Fair enough. And he is the leader of the Chastity, a triumvirate bent on exploiting the rights to gain status in the Commonwealth. Something tells me these triumvirates are a little bit, I hate to say it because we're kind of all criminals down here, but a little bit criminal. Did the 8 scribes really build them this way? I mean, they couldn't have in this case, because the Chastity couldn't exploit the Commonwealth before, because the Commonwealth didn't exist when the scribes were around. Fair question. Oh. Wait. How do you know how to do that? Usually, I couldn't even do that. I could make a judgment call on people, but how did you just talk to me telepathically? That's creepy. Oh, he talked to everybody? Holy shit, this guy's crazy. Sorry, I've been told not to interact with you. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, bye. So let's see what the Chastity have up their sleeves for this rite, shall we? Oh, well, that's interesting. It says exiles may choose from different masteries each time they rise in rank. There's an item that lets you change that.
The stars align themselves before you, reader.
Do you know anything about this item, voice man?
Now at the glade of Liu, I have to say, you've come so very far.
I mean, we crossed an ocean,
There are
so...
those, such as your adversaries called the Chastity, who have toiled for this too.
They sure have. They toiled so hard they came to Okami land.
Opportunity. It could be yours instead.
These trees go from full blossom to full blossom, Senator Armstrong.
Superior.
I will do the best I can. He did that with the Withdrawn, too. He doesn't like the Withdrawn or the Chastity. I wonder why. I wonder if they would strangle me by your volition. Good job, Joe Dario. Don't even talk to him. Alright then. Bye. That ain't gonna happen, buddy. Not on my watch. Oh, wow, did you see that? His triumvirate's actually kind of varied. Which at this particular point in the game makes some sense. So we have a sap. We don't know what they do yet. We'll get there. He has a nomad, so we kind of got an idea what they do already, and a harp. But all of them are rank 1, so not a single one of them has a skill to their name. It should make things a little simpler. Not a lot, but a little. So, alright, I'm going to put the only person with an actual aura in the middle. So, Jay, here you go. Jay! Stop that. One day she'll be an agent, and then you'll be sorry. Sir Gilman.
Sir Gilman.
Gotta get him working his way up now, since he sat out of the last rite after joining our party. And Pamitha, you're up too.
The choice is cast.
I will be glad to count on you, because you can fly right over these people. For the most part. The harp might give you a little trouble, but Mr. Tinderstoff over here, no, he won't give you any trouble. Likewise, I suppose. Let's see what we can show the stars then, shall we? And we'll see what the woods can show us. Oh. Okay. What's with the sapling? Humboldt Manley Jr. Manley's sapling, which not only has a name, but bears a similar posture and likeness to him. So is this your son? Somewhat? That would be nice, yeah. Are you done? So basically the sapling is the unique effect that saps have. They can create a defensive barrier wherever they point their fingers instead of casting their aura. You can banish the sapling, but if you banish the sap, the sapling goes with him, so it's probably better to try to banish the sap if you can, which is what I'm going to try to do.
Hold no small degree of influence within the Commonwealth, breeder.
Like that.
There are many who would welcome his return.
Let me get out of your way, get some stamina back,
The first dousing.
and then do that. There we go, good work, Jay. Of course they are. So if you were wondering why this place doesn't really have a whole lot of obstacles, now it does. So.
Your adversary Manley is comfortable in this suffocating glade.
So Sir Gilman, when he throws the ball, he can kind of sort of throw it in a big arc, as you saw there, which allows him to sort of do some stuff that might be a little bit easier than otherwise would be able to. Oops. There we go. I'll take this, thank you.
The Worm Knight somehow did it.
Unfortunately, at the moment, Sir Gilman's not the best scorer, but he'll get there. Especially if we give him the Kerfang eventually, so. Yeah, with every passing round, Manley will summon more roots. So you're going to want to try to end this quickly if you can. If you have Jodariel, you can end it even faster. But, well, whether you have Jodariel or not is a matter of saying. Well, okay. Excuse me, pardon me.
Resplendent.
Thank you. Alright, so not too much more. I think I need to have Jay score in order to finish this next round, though. Yeah, because if Sir Gilman scores, it'll only be like 26, so. I would like to keep scurrying around with my damned orb, actually, because the more you do this, the less paths we have, the more paths you have to do whatever you please, which is not what I want. So, alright, so how do I want to do this? Okay, I guess not. Take the orb and run with it, Sir Gilman! I guess I'll just die. That's what I'll do. Whoop, okay. Get out of here. I don't think I can have Jay jump this one though. Ooh, okay. Ah, I couldn't quite jump. I ran out of stamina before I could. Gotcha. Nice.
Bashed. Beneath contempt.
Well, that's unfortunate. We might get back before they get here, though. There we go. You may have noticed also that he just produced a defensive barrier. That's another sap power. He can produce a defensive barrier upon, basically on demand. So, thankfully, it didn't matter because we got the orb in. So, yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have talked about them. Maybe they're cursing you as well as they're cursing me. So. And as you can see, the further along this goes, the more likely it is that they'll actually encroach upon him as well, because now, well, they are encroaching upon him, so. Alright, let's use a little of that fleetness. Oh god. Well, that's not going to work, unfortunately. I got somebody. Oh, good. And I got you.
Somebody get the orb.
Working on it! Ooh, nice. Hang on, I need to replenish my stamina before I go anywhere with this. Alright, up we go! I'll take this, thank you. Don't you just think you can jump? Okay, I guess you can jump into me. You got good aim with that.
Yes.
Okay, can't fly over that. I can fly through this, though, and drop the ball again, but, you know, okay. Yeah, I can't do a whole lot about this for right now. Oop. Okay, well, I wanted to get her, but didn't quite. Good job, Sir Gilman. All right, let's take it, shall we? Because, yeah, you can't... Okay. Didn't get my stamina back quick enough. Yeah. That's not gonna work.
There it is.
Okay, that's fine. And we're back with everybody. All right. Now let's see if we can have Pamitha fly on over and in. Goodbye.
Done.
Nice and easy.
Fine. Yes, the Nightwings did prevail.
Noxalis.
What
Yes,
a
we did.
crushing victory it was.
Why is this suddenly so intense? There was a very large variety of different types of opponents on the field. Before, it was kind of just like always 3 of the same, basically, or 1 person and then 2 of this other kind. The Chastity are interesting because it's 3 different kinds of foes, and their team is very well balanced. The Sap has the defensive opportunities, the Harp can fly, so they have a really big offensive opportunity, and Nomads are just good all around, so... Yeah, their team is actually kind of tricky sometimes. That, and I was using Sir Gilman without any of his upgrades, so he's kind of gimped at the moment. We'll get him there, but he's not quite up to snuff yet. Yeah, we should probably leave before he gets too upset. I hope so. I'm just furious with you! That's not how this works, man. Who do you think we are? Somebody you could bribe? Yeah, about that. That's why you have the mask. So my spit doesn't get in your ear holes.
Always is
Gross.
there greater knowledge to be gained.
We gotta take Rookie next time, I think. Because he's got a lot of inspiration to work with. As for Sir Gilman...
For honor, this Sir Gilman may yet learn something.
Huzzah! He has made it to rank 2. Let's see what he can learn. So he takes his little masteries from the Underking Orez. So he can get the Depths of the Sea Sojourner or the Tactics of the Underking. I'm trying to remember which one I enjoy more. So Valiant Return isn't bad. It lets him come back if all allies are banished. It's not always good because most of the time if all your allies are banished, they're going to run it in within a second or 2 anyway. But sometimes it's nice, so... Heroic Stand, Stunning Claim. Stunning Claim just seems silly because it freezes everyone, including him, for 3 seconds when he salutes, which is... Okay, I mean, I guess you could use that to, like, survey the field, but if you want to do that, just pause the game, you know? Seize Chance is nice, though, so if you really want to go down this path to get Seize Chance, I could see why, because he can banish somebody with his Slash and then run it in and deal 25 damage. Which is pretty nice, actually, because the one problem with the worms, even though they're very quick, is that they usually can't score very well because they don't have the glory to do it, as you can see here. But he'll get better. As for this side, the Tactics of the Underking, I actually like Avenging Aid because oftentimes Sir Gilman's not the first one that I control. So I'll leave him at the start for a little bit, and then when my allies get banished, I'll have him kind of run in and slash at people, which will allow him to bring back one of his banished allies, which is kind of nice, actually. And then I'm trying to think here if there's anything else. It might be worth it to get Valiant Return and then and also work on this side, basically, because then he can come back immediately if all allies are banished, and then he can... this is a once per round thing, by the way. It doesn't just keep working if he gets banished after this, but it can bring him back once per round, and then he can cut somebody with this one and use his Slash to bring back our allies. So Might not be bad. What else we got? Quick draw, that's not bad either, because if you miss with the slash, well, you can do it again, and then you can not miss with it. But the one that you really want to get for him, no matter where you're going to go on the mastery tree, is Greater Cleave. It increases the AoE of his slash so that you don't have to, like, slide right up next to their aura and almost get yourself banished just to kill them. So, yeah, we're going to start with this, and then... yeah, we'll get Vigorous Slash, and I'll probably get Quick Draw. I'm not even sure if I want Valiant Return. We'll see. Definitely want to work on Greater Cleave first, though, for him, so. Oh, good, Pamitha's still a tease, because now she needs 50 experience to get to rank 3, so we can pick something else over here. Probably, let's see, Shrike Dash. Yeah, that might actually be good, because then I could actually use her Dash. I'm not really a big fan of Sleight of Wing, honestly, but we really just want to get her to Greater Celerity. It makes her so much better. In combination with other things that we'll get later, so. It never has so far, Volfred, so I don't think you got anything to worry about, but I'm glad I have your approval finally. Because I was a little concerned about that for a bit. Alright, nice work, everybody. Let's see where we're going to go next. Also, I think the messages that are here where it says, oh, you overcame them with ease, I think that changes depending on how well or badly that you do in the rights. So, like, if it's a narrow victory or a narrow loss or a complete loss, it'll tell you differently. So, again, there's a lot of flags going on in the background of this game, and it's very interesting, I think, because it means that there's a lot of care put into the dialogue. Adequate? You were talking it up a big game a minute ago. You're capitalizing the P in plan. I don't know how I can see that from where I am, but okay, fair enough. It's going to be high up. Alright, Sir Gilman, you can stay in the wagon. It's okay. And cold. Fun. I mean, I guess we got enough of the heat in the lava land back there, so... yeah, well, I know that, because the plan that you have here is not capitalized, so obviously not, but... fair enough, but something tells me he's got more in store for us. We'll see what the catch is in a moment, but first... hey, it's not just me, Hedwyn, it's all of us, so thanks for your help, too. Alright, let's see where we're going. Whoa. You see that? There's like a golden film on the screen. I don't know how well you can see that on the stream itself, because some of the stuff, like I was mentioning before, oh yeah, you can see these fish in the Sea of Solace, but you couldn't even see the fish on the rendering, but there's like a golden film on the screen right now. I wonder if it has anything to do with that star. Solium, the golden star. Over the highest mountain in all the downside. Okay, so let's see where we're going on that mountain. Well, that's not a landmark, that's just a book. Huh. That's different. So we have to go to the top of Mount Elodiel, the sacred mountain on whose summit the rites were first conceived. Whether its summit is the downside's closest point to the Commonwealth, or the farthest, none can say. Depends on whether it's going up or going down. Kinda hard to say from here. You're slowly approaching 275k chromatins. There you go. We'll see if we can put a use to them eventually here. And at the fall of Solium, at the top of Mount Elodiel, is where the next rite will commence. The temple at the highest point in the downside exists to honor the 8 scribes. Fancy. Should I get dressed up for this, Mr. Sandalwood? Is this a formal occasion? Not that I have a dress jacket or anything to have down here, but, you know. You're gonna make me suffer through even just one stage of a Sting Entertainment game? Yeah, fair enough. That's fine. I'm sure it'll had to have happened eventually, so fair enough. So you're a stargazer too, then? Oh boy, he's doing the telepathy thing again.
I too can read, my boy.
What the fuck? He just spoke to me in English! Like reader language! I mean, that makes sense because he can read too, but okay.
Forbidden though the words may be.
Didn't expect that. Yeah, see, like they're speaking in the spoken word here, like the generalized universal language of the Commonwealth in the rest of the dialogue, and then all of a sudden he just telepathically speaks to me in English. Like, what the... Okay, Volfred. You're just showing off. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for not usurping my place here. That would be nice. Yeah, that is a good question. So your plan is still about freedom? Okay, well, fair enough. I'd like to know more, but yeah, it's probably best to rest on our laurels for now, so... Excuse me. Don't think we got anything going on in here for now, but let's see if we can move some stuff around in here. So you're definitely coming with us because you have a bunch of inspiration to work with, Ruki, so... We'll see what we can do about that next time. I kind of want to bring Sir Gilman again because he's a little lower than everybody else. I mean, I could just mentor him at the next vocation chance, and then he'll be almost where Pamitha is, which is pretty close to where everybody else is. So. I might just bring the big three here. I might bring Hedwyn, Jodario, Ruki to the next one, honestly. I feel like that might work okay. So let's move our stuff as if we're thinking that that's what we're going to do. I might even take off Jomuir's Fang, now that I think about it, because I might give him the Cur Fang instead. The Scribrock... Actually, I might give that to Jodario just to increase her presence even more than it already is. Might as well double down on it, you know. We can keep Hedwyn in the supporting role that he has at the moment with his vocational stuff. And then... I'll just put this here for now. You can have the Cur Fang. Oop, hang on. There we go. Get you a little extra damage. That means he'll deal 22 damage to their Pyre, which is pretty significant considering he's, you know, only got 15 glory. So, should work out. Thank you for introducing you to Tira Lyra. The Entropy Center got you in, but her style got you to stay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched her stuff in a little while, so I wasn't aware that she was... I don't know what the Entropy Center is, but I wasn't aware of what she was playing at the moment. So, but I'm glad you enjoy it. I don't know, I have a hard time watching other people play games, though. It's always kind of been a thing with me. I usually prefer to play them myself rather than watch other people play them, but... I mean, I'm like that with a lot of other things, honestly. Like, I'm like that with sports in real life, so... I mean, I could watch people play them, and most of them are probably better at it than me, but... Most of the time, I'd prefer to play the sports, so... It's a game on Steam, and it's a fucking wild game, like, damn. Oh, boy. Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar, so it must have been a more recent release, so... Okay, well, Volfred knows these woods pretty well, and actually, we passed right by the Scalorian shoreline of going through Needlefield not too long ago, so... I guess we'll, we were pretty close, but we would have had to have gotten here to the glade anyway, so... In any case, up we go. To the Scalorian shore. He was right, it just got really cold. And here's the river that I was talking about. A very, very cold river. I hope we're ready to bundle up, because we're going up, and it'll get even colder. That's how you are with sports. It translated to League of Legends too. That first year you tried sitting down to watch LCS. Why the fuck would you? Why not play it yourself? Yeah, I don't know. I've just always felt that way about a lot of stuff. It's like, if I got enough time to watch people play it, I got enough time to play it myself, you know? So, nothing against other people playing stuff. It's just, it's never really been a thing that I stick with for a long time, you know? Anyway, Volfred's going to talk to us about his plan, so... That was the idea, yeah. A lot of people here have people or purposes they want to go back to up there. Well, that's a good question. You want me to answer this question? All right, fair enough. So, there are a ton of answers that you could give here. Let's have a look at them. Make decisions on your own terms. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Having clear conscience and a carefree heart. Fair enough. Being your own master. Answering to no one's will other than your own. Also fair, although if your will is malevolent, that's kind of a mean thing to do. Go where the heart yearns without restriction and without fear. Yeah, fair enough. To feel true love. Could be. It could mean nothing at all, to give life a false sense of meaning. Fair enough. I don't know, I'm kind of on this train here. Living your life without concern for others' judgment or approval. That sounds pretty definitive to me. So let's try that one. We all make decisions, and some of them are bad, but the idea is that you don't have to be fearful of those bad decisions because you can go back and correct them rather than be punished for them. Thank you. That's the idea. So what kind of acts of courage are you trying to do here, Volfred? Because I get a feeling you've got big plans with a capital P. So, and what are we about to accomplish? Yeah, so it's the same for him, is living life without fear. And I'm guessing that in the Commonwealth, you had to deal with the threat of judgment and reprisal. Yeah. Okay, well, that's good. That's what we want. I don't know about that part. How does that work? Oh. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, their stars seem to be out there, but I don't know if they're keen on returning to life. Okay. So, as a part of the Nightwings, you want us to do something more than just getting out of here. Okay, and then what do we do? We will go to the Spiral Sanctum, the burned-down remains of the old capital of the Commonwealth. It was destroyed, if I recall correctly, by the High Wing remnants. The remains stand as a warning to those who would seek to spread forbidden knowledge. I think if I remember right, it's kind of like... I think the reference they're trying to make with it is like the Library of Alexandria, except also the capital area of, well, the Commonwealth. So, because there was a lot of books in the Spiral Sanctum, if I recall correctly, and none of them survived. So, not that anyone could read them anyway, but, you know. Okay, but... Okay, well, Hedwyn guessed it. Apparently, Mr. Sandalwood here isn't a big fan of the Commonwealth's current leading people. He's a little bit more of a fan of a different form of leadership. Oh, well, I guess you're aware of the fact that I have kind of acquired a sixth sense here. Well, I was going to say, some of us... I'll play devil's advocate for a minute. Some of us might not want to return. What if we don't have loved ones on the other side? What if we don't have things to go back to? What if we feel like down here we have it better than we had it up there? Do I really mean that, though? I guess not, because not a single member of the group is ready to leave when Volfred offered them a chance to leave. But yeah, I suppose I wouldn't want to leave these guys behind anyway, considering the fact that we've practically become fast friends over the past, like, couple of weeks at this point. So yeah, what he basically meant when you go back to the Commonwealth is that people who were exiled can, in fact, return from exile to the Commonwealth. However, the fact that none of us knew that going into this means that they must hide that information somehow in the Commonwealth. Prevent the people that come back from telling anyone else that they used to be exiled. I don't know how, but, well, we'll see. I think we get a little more information about it later. Perhaps from Volfred himself as we climb the mountain. But in the meantime, we still have a mountain to climb, so let's go do that. We have to go to Mur Pass in order to climb through the mountain. It's the only way to reach the base of Mount Elodiel, so off we go. I think this might also be a good place to go foraging, if they even let me. Okay, fair enough. We can discuss the plan while we're here, but first, the Beyonder Crystal seeks Hedwyn next. You're gonna die up there. Yeah, oh boy. Gonna order dinner and play more Let's Go. Ellie wants to tear Kanto apart. Bloodthirsty demon. Oh boy. Fair enough. Go ahead and take care of that. I will be here if you decide to jump back in. Volfred. What's up? Okay, and what's that? More telepathy? Is that what you're doing? He's a long-standing exile of the Nightwings who seeks more than his own freedom. I mean, I'm getting a picture, sure. Yeah, seems so. I'm kind of like not able to control it for a significant period of time. It just sort of happens somehow, sometimes. You know, I was kind of getting that impression. The voice told me almost immediately upon getting in here that perhaps not one such as yourself can go free, so I guess that's the impression. Well, just because I can't seek my own freedom doesn't mean that I can't help others do it. Yeah, they wouldn't know, and Tariq knows more than he lets on, but he can't tell me. He serves a different calling, apparently. Well, actually, my book might be defective, Volfred, because my book doesn't tell me, like, most of the things about this, so... No, I have not, because most of the book is blank. Well, I'm glad that you finally noticed the fact that I'm a bit of a cripple here. Volfred, I wasn't playing devil's advocate out there for nothing, I'll be honest with you. I have more of a purpose down here than I had up there. So, at least at this point. That's okay. I didn't have any guarantees when I was dying out in the sands anyway, so I understand. I'm not moving, but I understand. It's like you said, this isn't about me anymore. It might not be about you either. You have a higher calling as well, but it's not just about me here. Not bloodthirsty, though. You can be a demoness. Just want to be an empress of all Pokemon regions. Is that so evil? Depends on the Pokemon region and what the people there think. Although I don't think there's been a team of evildoers in a Pokemon game that's been, like, genuinely evil to the point of being, like, involved in arcane magics. So they've, like, the closest they've ever gotten is terrorism, but, you know. So, I mean, I say go for it, whatever. Yeah, fair enough. It kind of sounded like it, so. All right, then. Sounds like a plan. Because I have a lot more questions for you. All right, so anyway, the Beyonder Crystal seeks Headwind, so let's give him the Mooncrest for now. We'll give him the Ashen Coal back when he's done with the next right, so. Oh, actually, I got to check something real quick. Let's see, 35, 30, 28, 35, 28, 14, 24. Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure before we got too far here. Checking where we are in terms of experience. Excuse me. Sandra! Well, I'll see what's on your mind, but I heard you also have a scribe trial for us, so. Why am I enabling her? I don't know, I'm just chatting. I'm just chatting, that's all I do when I'm here, so. Well, something has happened. I am here. I mean, that's not really a happening. It's in the crystal, but it's like a respite from it. I had a feeling this was going to come up. We know about the Sisters of the Arch from the last passage that we read from Gaul in the book. Apparently, and I had a feeling about this anyway, the Sisters of the Arch are someone that Sandra is well aware of. They are an ancient band of killers, trained almost from birth to carry out their missions without fail. All the Sisters needed was a name and a sum of 500 soul up front. And Sandra was one of them. Great. I mean, I guess it could be either of the above. Sure, that makes sense, but... Yeah, I can imagine, since you're kind of in here with nothing to do. Did they not talk to you in those days? Wow, that's mean. I mean, you're kind of undying at the moment, aren't you? Damn it, fine. I'll deal with her massive ego myself. Oh boy. Have fun. Well, I do kind of not have the same immortality that you do, so I suppose we should get on with business, shall we? Scribe trial, please. Well, then let's sate that boredom, shall we? Let me go get Hedwyn. Hang on. All right, buddy, you're up. Please be gentle. He has never done this before. Hedwyn, thanks for coming. Well, my friend, we're about to have a very bad time. Well, maybe not you so much, because you don't practically fall unconscious every time you see the void, but, you know. Terribly bored. She's just like Professor Paradox, who gets so bored with madness that he swung right back around to sanity. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the similar situation as Sandra, basically. She's, been in there for a long time. Over 800 years, in case you missed that part a little earlier, so... That is relatable. You can only entertain yourself with madness for so long. Yeah, especially when there's no stimuli. I mean, there's this section here, but this section of the Beyonder Crystal only appears when she's administering trials or tutorials, so... He was telling you that he understands. He's not talking back. Alright, Hedwyn, you and me. Let's see what we can do. Oh, good, it's the big three. Alright, get out of my way. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe run past since they're not looking, and there we go. Caught you napping. Don't know if that'll happen again, but, you know. Just kind of bait them so... Okay! He had it out for me there, that's for sure. Stop that. Alright, who's coming after me here? I better go before the rookie one respawns. I can't believe I made it in there. Good work, Hedwyn. Nice slide. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Might give me a small opportunity. Hang on, I can go. Well, that was easy. Good work, Hedwyn. Nice and simple. Noxalis. Good. Yes, we did. Fantastic. That was just sufficient. We ran circles around them. Well, they actually ran circles around themselves, to be fair. They pretty much walked into my attacks all the time, so... Some of them, the scribe trials, that is, are not so easy. I think if I remember right, Tizo's in particular is a bastard, but we'll get there. I think if I remember right, Tizo's you get pretty early, and that's why, because maybe you just don't have the upgrades for him that he needs to really thrive yet, so... Yeah, it's a bit of a trip, isn't it? Well, I have a trinket that only works for you, as it turns out. Goals Bracer, which you get for completing Hedwyn's trial. This one allows Hedwyn to power cast his aura with a greater ease and gains unlimited stamina when he hits an opponent for 2 seconds. It's... okay. His power casts, I don't know, there's kind of a... The thing about power casting is that there's kind of a rhythm to it with a lot of people, which is why sometimes I have a hard time having Jay power cast because hers is so much faster than everybody else's. This makes Hedwyn's a little similar to hers. It's not quite as quick, but it's quicker than usual. And it makes him into a bit of an attacker, which I guess is not too bad. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of it, though, to be honest. I usually prefer having him on, like, the Ashen Coal or something like that. In the next rite that I take him in, probably going to have him on the Ashen Coal, so he probably won't get to use that all that much. But, hey, it's there to sell if we need it, so... In any case, we can discuss the plan now, because Volfred has more to say, and I have more to question, so... Let me take a drink, though, before we do it. And what is the bad news? There's always a catch, we just didn't get to it yet. Oh. Yeah, I could see how that would be a little bit of a damper on our spirits, so it couldn't have possibly just been as easy as keep winning the rights and we all get out of here at the same time. Instead, you can only send one person to freedom at a time. Yeah, the free part we'll get to, Hedwyn, but the together part might have to wait. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's what I'd like to know. I'd like an explanation of what to expect when we go up the mountain here. Okay, well, fair enough. And once we get to the top of Mount Elodiel, on the way to the Fall of Solium, we will pass through the Scribes' Gate. It is said the scribes themselves keep watch over the Scribes' Gate. The judgment of the scribes determines who can cross, and who is sent the fast way down. Oh boy. Well, actually, again, I didn't get to that section because it's still written in invisible ink. I could show you if you'd just let me show you. Anyway, after passing through the Scribes' Gate, we end up in the Fall of Solium. And yeah, we know what that is all about. As for our opponents at the Fall of Solium, they are the only team that we have not faced yet. The Tempers, a mighty triumvirate that has been the closest rival of the Nightwings. And they're led by the demon Ignarius. He is the notorious demon leader of one of the most feared triumvirates in the Rites, because, of course, they have to be one of the most feared considering they made it to Mount Elodiel. Not everybody gets to make the pilgrimage up the mountain, as it turns out. Okay, so you remember how he said basically only one person can go free. So what happens in the next rite, it's a special rite because it's the last rite of the first cycle. One person from each triumvirate will be chosen, and if that side wins the next rite, they can go free. Only them, only the person that is chosen can go free. The rest of the people in the triumvirate will support them to get them to freedom. And as soon as they become free, they're just going to jump straight back up into the Commonwealth. I don't know how they're going to make the trip yet because it's kind of a really long way up, but we'll see. And I would assume that's why they were able to control the spread of misinformation about, oh yeah, this person was exiled and they came back. Because, again, we didn't know about that before this. So they pardon their sins. And by they, I mean the Commonwealth. Yeah, that's a lie, evidently. And apparently the scribes figured it would probably be for the best that it wasn't told. I feel like I would have wanted to know that information, but yeah, it's probably a part of the system, isn't it? The fact that the previous exiles have good incentive to protect the secrets. That seems to be the gist of it, yeah. Okay. Fair enough, there's more to be said, but... And we have time for vocations while we're here, so I think I might actually forage while I'm here, to be honest, because we won't get a chance to forage here at Myr Pass ever again, because we almost never come back here after this. Well, we do, but not to do any of these things, so I think I might actually forage here. Pardon your French, but excusez-moi, yeah, only one person can return at a time. As for how that is determined, we'll get there soon enough. Actually, before I forage, let me just check. I'm going to check the official Pyre gathering, or Pyre foraging guide. Not official, but the Steam community version, so that... Oh, the part about the fast way? Yeah, I don't think we want to know what the fast way down is. Like throwing them off the mountain or something. Alright, Myr Pass. Is that something that I can forage at? It is, okay, the Scalorian Shore. Okay, so if we forage here, we want to check the snowdrifts and see if we can find something interesting. So let's try foraging. And I think it even lets you see, yeah, what you can pick out of this. It says you sense a mystical artifact in the snowdrift, so that kind of gives you an impression of, okay, what you're going to find. You can also find a serum in the ice shelves, but we can use serums at this point, but we'll talk about them when they become more pertinent later on. For now, I'd like to get this item in the snowdrifts and get the hell out of here before all of this Lavos spawn bullshit wakes up. So, let's see what we got. Well, I hope it does. Let's see what we found. Aha! And what do you suppose that is? That is actually a very, very good talisman. One of the best in the game, the Prayer Beads. Why is it good? After plunging into the adversary's pyre, the bearer has a chance to not be banished in the next round. It starts at rank 10, it has a 50% chance of keeping you from being banished, and since it starts at rank 10 and has 50%, what do you imagine happens when you get it to rank 20? I'll give you a second to think about that, because every time you upgrade a talisman, it gains a certain percentage, and it's halfway there at the moment. Okay, I'll just tell you. If you upgrade the prayer beads to rank 20, and you give it to one of your attackers, and they plunge into the pyre, they will come back immediately in the next round. This talisman's busted. I'm glad we found it. I didn't expect to actually find it, but I'm glad we found it, because now I never have to forage again. It's the only one in the forage list that's actually worth it, in my opinion. We'll see if my luck holds when we go look for the other talisman on Mount Elodiel in a little bit, so... That is broken AF. It's again, one of the best talismans in the game, so it's just too bad that I usually don't get it, because I almost never have that luck foraging, but it will be a mainstay for a long time now after this, so... Headwind, you don't need the moon crest anymore. We'll just... Oop, hang on. I gotta do this a certain way, because you can't, like, take it out and then replace it. So, like, let me show you. So, like, if you have something equipped and you want to take it out and replace it with something else up here, it doesn't work. It'll just stick it in your... Excuse me. In your inventory. So, instead, to replace what you have, you want to take it out of your inventory and then stick it on them. And it'll replace it in the stuff here, so... Yeah, the streamer luck continues, apparently. We're making good use of the luck, that's for sure. You're not going to be plunging, so I don't think giving you the prayer beads is a good idea. If I'm going to take two attackers with me, though, eventually, like if I take, let's say, Ruki and Sir Gilman into a thing, I'm going to want one of them to have the Kerfang and the other one to have the prayer beads, so... And probably the prayer beads will be more of a Sir Gilman thing, because if I remember right, Ruki gets Guiding Light at the next rank, which... Yeah, it prevents him from being banished permanently in the next round. It's not quite as good as the prayer beads all the way upgraded, but it basically gives him a respawn timer when you start the next round. So, but we'll hold on to the prayer beads for now, and we'll go from there. Anyway, we're going up the mountain. Volfred's got more to explain, and we've got more places to be, so let's see if we can go up there. You'll never forget the damn Crystallis box that wouldn't break. Me neither. That was a fucking blessing. I don't even understand it. I used it like, what, 40 times, and it just did not break. So, I gotta go back and, like, count the total actual number that Crystallis box lasted, because that's, like, some crazy TAS RNG bullshit that we just managed to pull in a normal seed. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're at Mount Elodiel, the final destination of this little jaunt of our adventure. Yeah, probably a little of A, a little of B. Quite a few, yes. So, that is a fair question, yeah. Also a good question, actually. What is so special about us that we would be doing this? Well, it seems like a lot of them want to get out of here, but not for noble reasons. So what you're saying, then, is that the reason why you want us to do this is because we're not willing to just accept our freedom as the Commonwealth will give it to us. We have higher plans for our own selves. So... I could see how the system could be exploited if that's what's happening, and as it turns out, exiles who are then returned from the downside to the Commonwealth are given very high responsibility jobs, often inside of the Commonwealth's government or religious standings. So, yeah, they benefit very severely from this arrangement, and I can imagine that they would want to keep that arrangement in place for as long as possible, to the detriment of, you know, hundreds and even thousands of other people that they throw down here over their lifetimes. So, you were wondering when the revolution was happening, Marie? Pretty soon. Let's make a high-rank spell in item form. How is it balanced? It breaks when you use it, sometimes. Can I get a flat rate? Maybe tomorrow. I like that guy. I like that guy who programmed the not flat rate into it. I guess so. And it turns out we're those people, huh? So you were looking for people on the downside who shared a certain disposition of a lack of pleasure against the way things are. And you found Hedwyn. Fair enough. And he found all of the above because he found his old captain, Ruki, who he was acquainted with somehow, the wagon, and then me. So... well, I'm sure you've got that right in certain cases. Uh-huh. No, I think I want to keep listening. This is important stuff. Yes, the revolution. It's coming. And yeah, the final rite of every cycle is officially termed a liberation rite. On a blooded moon at the fall of Solium, an exile from the prevailing triumvirate shall go free. The anointed champion shall plunge into the shimmer pool and return in glory. A quote from the Book of Rites, although we haven't really gotten to that page yet. Hopefully we will soon enough, because I'd like to not be kept in the dark anymore. So, and why is that simple? It doesn't seem so simple. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the impression that I was getting basically is that there's a total of 8 triumvirates that you could join, quote unquote, as a part of your sentence into exile down here when the rites are proceeding. We're one of them, the Nightwings, and then there are 7 others that you could have joined. The Tempers are one of them. We're fighting them soon. The Chastity, the Withdrawn, those sorts of guys. So all 8 teams were created in the image of the 8 scribes, which is a little strange because some of them seem very keen to not do pious and righteous things anymore. The Withdrawn. But, Yeah, so we've seen all of the above. So, like the Accusers, a vindictive triumvirate that conducted many liberation rites in the past but seldom prevailed. You'll notice that a lot of these have negative connotations, which is strange considering these were conceived by the scribes themselves, but, well, it's been 800 years since they were conceived. Maybe they've decayed a little bit. And let me guess, I think I know who they are. Yeah. So the Nightwings are a special triumvirate. They were created in the image of Solium Mur himself, and were basically created to judge whether the other triumvirates are worthy of their freedom, or the Nightwings themselves. And everyone else will try to take us on as needed, because that is a fair question, actually. What if we decide we kind of like it down here? Okay, so... they must need us then, right, to gain freedom? Yeah, so in case it wasn't clear at this point, the regular rites, the stakes aren't particularly high. You can gain enlightenment by doing them, but it's not required that you win. If you want to be free, though, well, you have to win in the liberation rites. So... but yeah, if you don't conduct the rites... you can't have a liberation rite. Does that mean that the Nightwings didn't conduct liberation rites recently? I think if I remember Lendl, he told us before that it had been a while since the Nightwings were around. Is that because they hadn't been? Did they not pass the torch? Or yeah, they disbanded years ago. So I guess we gave them some hope again, didn't we? Well, this is all a whole lot to take in, but yeah, so there's only one of us that can go free, and we, as the Nightwings, are the judge to every other group. We decide when the rites commence, when they end. Well, on a technicality we do. And if we don't participate, nobody goes free. We're all stuck down here. So, I don't know about that one. Anyway, we could go to the Emperor's Ascent. Jay wants to go here to be blessed. Or the Emperor's Fall, which is where Pamitha can get us the other talisman that I was talking about here. So let's see what we can find this time. The Fairy Spirit is pretty common. I usually get that when I play, but this one is a little more up in the air, if I recall correctly. I mean, literally, because Pamitha has to go get it for me, but, you know. Alright, Pamitha, let's see if your wings can prove true again. Oh, and Jodariel's gonna help us. Well, that's surprising, considering the rest of my company. Fair enough. So what do we do while she's doing this? Oh boy. Is she? I mean, she's been here the longest out of all of us, besides, well, Volfred, but... I don't know if I would want to let her out of here because of pity, but... Huh. We'll work on it. Don't worry. I'll figure out who's going first. It's not a burden that I take on lightly. So. Well, that's nice. Nicer than the disposition the two of you have at the moment, anyway. Oh my god. Never mind. Alright, slow down, Jodariel. I can't come between the two of you. I don't have the legs for it, but let's just let her get the... Okay, fair enough. See ya. Let's just let her get what she came for. Yeah, she's not exactly one for small talk when it comes to digging at her like you do. She's not really the kind of person that likes to take a joke. Anyway. What'd you find this time? A luminous idol. After grasping the orb, the bearer instantly recovers all stamina. This one's pretty good, actually. There's a total of 3 different talismans that you can get at this event here. I wanted a different one, but it seems to be the rarest of the bunch because I've never gotten it. I've gotten one of the other ones twice, and this is the first time I'm getting this one, so... It's pretty good, though. It lets you run across the field quite easily with one of your runners, so we've got 2 really solid accessories or talismans for people who are running the orb now, which is good, because that means we can be more offensive than we were before. So now we can kind of like rush to the ball, rush to the orb, grab it, get all our stamina back, and keep going, which is kind of nice. This is a long-forgotten effigy of the Songfisher, thought to embolden one's spirit when closer to celestial phenomena. Yeah, fair enough. I will take it. Alright, well, we gotta keep going here. We can go to the cistern. Sir Gilman wants to look upon the sacred waters in the temple cistern, or the high road. Hedwyn expressed a passing whim to see the view from here. Nothing against Sir Gilman, but the likelihood of him being first is very, very low for reasons that I know and will explain later. Hedwyn, however, has a very high chance of being chosen, so let's let him check this section out in case I make a decision to allow him to go first. So let's see what you find. Yeah, I don't know if they come this high up, to be honest. I kind of hope not. What's on your mind, man? True, very true. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah, they would go back to the Commonwealth in freedom. You want me to decide on this? I kind of figured that was going to be the case. You've kind of let me steer the path so far, but I'll, yeah. True, very true. I mean, all we got to do is just keep going through the cycles until we're all free. Whether we do it all at once or one by one, it doesn't really seem to matter to me. We'll eventually all get out of here if we keep this up. That will be a day. There will be a lot of drinking and a lot of laughing. Partying in the streets, if the streets aren't held by the Commonwealth still. True, if we keep failing, we'll just end up stuck here, but I'd like to try not to do that. Glad to hear it. I'm glad that you've got a clear conscience for all this, because we're probably going to need your help. Hedwyn feels more prepared for the next rite. Let's hope likewise for the best. What does that mean? It gave him a little bit of extra enlightenment. 350, just to chunk him up a little bit. In case he was close to rank 4, it would allow you to get him all the way there, but he's not close enough for me. Because I've been splitting the experience up like crazy, so yeah. Also, this system sucks as much as every other fucking society that gets created. Yeah, I think the intentions of the scribes were good, but I don't think they really thought through how the system could be gamed to be taken advantage of by people. Or maybe they just had more faith in people than the rest of us do. So, but it's not exactly a good system, which is why Volfred wants us to revolt and destroy it and bring something new to the table. Well, destroy is a strong word. I don't think Volfred's the kind for violent revolution. We'll get to that. But we've made it to the Scribe's Gate. Speak my mind to who? Okay, fair enough. I guess Tariq is going to take us through here. He seems to know his way in a lot of cases, and he took his hat off. Okay, should I take my hood off? And who's this lady? The Gate Guardian. Oh boy. So her name is Celeste, and just like how Tariq is always referred to as the Lone Minstrel, she will always be referred to as the Gate Guardian. Her name is here, but it won't show up here ever, so. But nice to meet you, Celeste. Yeah, there's quite a few people here, as it turns out. I get the feeling these two aren't exactly human. It might be something more than that. Just judging by their disposition here at the gate. Excuse me. Who we are and what we seek while crossing the Scribe's Gate. Okay, sounds like a plan. If we want to get across, we're going to have to do it, so. Alright, well, Hedwyn's through, that's good. What about you, Rookie? Fair enough. Captain. She's finally referring to herself as Captain. I guess I kind of spoiled that early, but, I mean, she looks like a captain, doesn't she? That's a fair thing to say there, Tizo. I feel like that's a good goal. Did you lose it and feel like you can pick it back up again? It's not really something to be held in your hand, Sir Gilman. Not that you have hands to hold it. Uh-oh. Well, fair enough. He has big plans, despite the fact that he's not willing to take part in the rites to do anything about it. I wonder why. Oh boy. State who you are to traverse the Scribe's Gate. So here's where you choose your history for the game. I know what my history already is. I've kind of thought this one through a while ago, but here are your options. You could say that you're just a crippled scholar, which, yeah, fair enough. You did get sent down here for literacy, so, you know. Old farmhand, your youth is gone, but your thirst for knowledge earned you a trip to the downside nonetheless. Or a war orphan, years of strife between the Commonwealth and the High Wing remnants afflicted you since birth. You could also say that you don't know who you are, which might kind of make her a little bit upset, considering she wants you to tell her who you are and what your purpose is. You can say it, though. It still works, just she gets pissed at you, so. I think if I recall correctly, I wanted to do the farmhand one, so we'll do that one. My youth is gone. I am no longer 18 or younger. Fair enough. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. And now we have to amend that with the reason why we can traverse the Scribe's Gate. What we truly seek. And that one's easy. I'm going to help my friends. I lost a lot of friends in the Commonwealth from my own transgressions, Celeste, but I've made a new bunch of friends down here. And I ain't gonna fail them. Their goals are my goals now, and I would not see it any other way. Alright, well, good. That worked out. Fair enough. Oh. Alright, then. Feels like those two know each other, but there's some sort of animosity between the two of them. Just a passing thought. Anyway, we're here. The top of Mount Elodio. And I definitely don't want to pass through those many thousand leagues the hard way, so it's a good thing we got that part out of the way already. Page revealed, the mercy shown. Okay, we'll go take a look at that. Somebody wants to talk to me. Apparently Falcon Ron is up here as well, somehow. We'll get there. Captain? You're already ready for battle, huh? I guess that makes sense. Headwind's here too. Oh, of course. Let's hope not. Let's hope he's not thinking about that too much while you guys are out there. Wah wah. So now I have to make a decision, don't I? Well, no, not yet, Rookie. Slow your roll. Oh. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes you just need an outlet for that stuff. That seems to be the plan, yeah. Well, I'd like to have a little more optimism going in, but, you know. That's fair, yeah. I mean, we do have a good thing going here, but if we all want to get out of here, we're going to have to do it one at a time, like Wilfred said, so. I already know about that, Rookie. Don't worry about it. Well, I don't know if you can help it, but I'll do the best I can, Hedwin. I'm gonna need to get my legs better. They're not currently able to carry my weight without help, so I'll do the best I can, but it might be a while for me. So I feel like I would, and I feel like I know you guys like family at this point, so it was us four, you three and me at the beginning, so it's not that I don't like the others, but you guys are kind of holding a bit of a place here. Sounds like a plan. I mean, you never know. It depends on how far of a distance there is. Fair enough. That's a good point. We will find a way. Alright, good pep talk, everybody. I'll meet you out there in a few minutes. Hopefully it is only the first. So each of your initial 3 companions gained +1 hope for the next rite, which makes them a very solid choice if you're going to pick 3 people to go to the next one. Of course, that means that one of them has to be the one that goes free, which is unfortunate and interesting, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I guess I can kind of tell you. We'll look in the common room so I can tell you once we read this page. How it's chosen which of the members of your party is chosen to be the ones that are available to go free, because not all of them qualify at the moment. You may have remember that Volfred mentioned a lack of enlightenment on certain people's parts. We'll talk about it. In the meantime, let's look at our adornment we got. The River Frost, a keepsake from the Scalorian shore. So cold it can burn the skin, but it keeps the wagon cool and food fresher for longer. Good. Glad to have it. Take a look in the book and see about the mercy shown. Let me take a drink before I read some of Gull's last words here. The imp Haub and I, we helped to save my emperor, and when the danger did subside, my emperor Solium Mur, he said something to me, which shook me to the essence of my being. Am I doing voices for these people? Should I do voices for these people? I feel like I kind of should do voices for these people, like give them some, because I kind of have lowered my voice a little bit for Gull, so I guess I already kind of did it. I guess I'll give them voices. How do I want Solium Mur to sound? He said, "You gave your freedom, Master Golethanian, so that I may yet have mine. You too are now an exile of the downside. In all the days which I have left, I could never repay the mercy you have shown me. So if I cannot do so in this life, then I shall do it in the next. We crossed the land together, and together with the imp, we gained the company of those who saw in him what I did. That's a hell of a speech. The man didn't lose it from coming down here, I'll tell you what. He's pretty good at the whole speech-giving thing. All right, so here's the gist, and here's the part that is... I actually really like this system. On first glance, I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to like this when I first played this, but I actually really like the system in hindsight. Not everyone qualifies for freedom when you go to a liberation rite. The way that the game chooses who qualifies for freedom, it's based on your enlightenment, like I said in the last episode. The 3 members of your party that have the highest current enlightenment are the 3 that are capable of going free. So, in our case, the people who are capable are Hedwyn, because he's at 3850 now, probably Joe Dario, and Jay. Those 3 have the highest enlightenment. Now, normally you get here and it's probably going to be the initial 3, but as it turns out, Jay has a slightly higher amount because I tutored her. So, but yeah, normally it's these 3, but in this particular case, it's Hedwyn, Joe Dario, and Jay. So, I have to make a choice between the 3 of them. Who's going first? Oh boy. Sandra, any thoughts to help me with this? It is, actually. Yes, I'm surprised you're aware. I mean, you have like a 6th sense for this stuff, so I guess I shouldn't be that shocked. Oh. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. So Solium Mur, we haven't heard him in text yet, but he is the 8th and final scribe of the Book of Rites, known as the first exile or the last of his name, because the Mur family did not continue after him, though demons sure did. A once proud emperor who neglected his nation and found penitence in the downside. It's a bit of a 180 for him too, but I mean, Gaul did it, so I suppose he would have had to have started the trend. Well, it couldn't have been for mercy. They trapped you in here for eternity. That's a fate worse than death. And how the hell did they even do that? Apparently not. Like, I don't know if I'd ever respect them in that case, because that is not mercy. Yeah, but they didn't spare your life, really. They stuck you in here. They turned your life into hell by boredom. I mean, I'm glad that you're optimistic about it. I don't feel like I'd share the same disposition. I'm glad to know you, but I don't feel like I'd share the same disposition. Alright, fair enough. I also got a chance to blaspheme while I was in here, so now maybe I'll walk out of here and lightning will strike me dead, and then Volfred can have his way with us. So that's fun. I will do the best I can, Sandra. I don't know anything about them yet, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, Slug Market, and then the first Liberation Rite. Oh, do you? You know what, Ron? Let's go with that. And Ron does, in fact, have some decent stuff now. He's got a decent chunk of Stardust, +1, +2, +3, so that's 6 total. And he also has our first opportunity to use Scribe Snuff. This is the item that loading screen was talking about. If you use this on one of your members of your retinue, they will unlearn all of their masteries right away, and you can choose them again. He'll hold on to this Scribe Snuff, by the way, so if you don't need it for now, don't worry about it. You can buy it again. But if you need it, it's only 20 soul, so it's really not that bad, all things considered. So, alright, now that we have Prayer Beads and the Luminous Idol, I'm just going to throw Caution to the Wind and get rid of Jamuer's Fang and Gull's Bracer. We'll never need them again because I'm just going to have the other stuff on them instead. And just like that, we have more money than I'll probably ever need for the rest of the game. Well, that's not true. I'll be buying Stardust, so we'll need the money for that, but, you know. Hopefully this will allow Ron to recoup his costs a little bit. Although he will. It's just his inventory, so, you know. Alright, so that's that. Yeah, let's go down here and plop it on something. oh, I get to show you something good about the way that Pyre handles these items. So, like, let's say, for example, you've got this +3 Stardust, but let's say you're in a situation where you don't need +3 in order to get it up. So, like the Ashen Coal, if we use this on it, it'll get to 16. This will get it to 18. And this would get it to 21, but it only ever goes up to 20. Does that mean that you waste a Stardust? No, actually. As it turns out, the game accounts for the fact that you only need 2, and it will refund you the amount of Stardust that you have left over. So we now have an additional 1 Stardust that we can use on whatever we want. And that's a really nice quality of life feature that not all games would actually bother with doing. So yeah, it works pretty nicely. Oh, by the way, the Ashen Coal is complete now, so now at the start of each right we get +30 to our Pyre, which is kind of nuts, actually. Like, that's a ton, so... Oh, also, the Luminous Idol is nice as well because its effect is not... You don't need to upgrade it. It just is exactly this way for the rest of the game. So now, well, we can focus our efforts on the Scribe Rock, the Prayer Beads, and the Kerfang, I think. And I think the Kerfang is lower than every other one. Yeah, it's at 5, so... Start the Stardust journey here, and yeah, we'll keep going. I'll probably try to upgrade them pretty evenly because they're all good in their own way. So, yeah, we'll do that. Although I don't think I want you to have the Scribe Rock now that we have all this other stuff to work with. I'll probably just give you the Ashen Coal. And then, as for Headwind, do I want the Prayer Beads or do I want the Luminous Idol? I mean, the Prayer Beads are good, but it's not like a guarantee yet, so I think I want the Luminous Idol instead. Yeah, we'll have you have the Luminous Idol so you can grab the ball and then get all your stamina back and keep running! And we'll work on upgrading this. Maybe I actually will prioritize the Prayer Beads now that I think about it, because if I can get it to rank 20 as soon as possible, it'll be, like, super good for the point in the game that we're at, but I'll see. Well, I'm glad, Ron. I'm glad that you had all the Stardust and stuff that you had, because it definitely will come in handy for us. All right, nothing else for it. Let me take a drink, and then we'll go to the first Liberation Rite. Alright, so here at the summit of Mount Elodio, one among you may finally go free, if we prevail. If we don't, I'll probably just use the retry button, if I'm being honest with you. The Liberation Rites are the one situation in this game where I would want to use it, but I kind of hope at this point we do, because this is still the easy part. So. And what's that other question? That's also a fair question. I don't think we got a clear picture of that. No, but... Okay, yeah, so remember how he said that one of each triumvirate will be put up at the beginning of the Liberation Rite? If we lose, the person from the Tempers that is put up as a... I don't want to say sacrifice, because that's not true. The opposite of sacrifice. Whoever ends up being chosen among the Tempers will go free instead of us. Which would probably be a little bit of a problem, excuse me, for Volfred's plan, because I don't think the Tempers are keen on it, so... Excuse me. As for the plan itself, it is now a key term that you can take a look at every time it's mentioned in text. And the reason why you'd want to look at it is because of the probability of success that you can see there in the middle. The plan, at the moment, only has a probability of 20% of succeeding as peacefully as possible. The higher that probability gets, and the more people you liberate, from the Nightwings, that is, the more likely it is that the Commonwealth's the revolution to overturn the Commonwealth's government will happen without bloodshed. It'll still happen, but people will die if you don't get people out of here, so not exactly what Volfred wants, so. But anyway, enough talk. We have but one path ahead of us, and it will take us either to glory or to a whole bunch more rights. We'll see. And yes, that is true. There is no fail state in this game, so if you lose here, you can just keep going. That being said, I did say I want the best ending, so...
Many years have passed since last the Nightwings gained the summit of the Sacred Mountain. and stood upon the fall of Solium.
Well, we're doing it again, voice
You are to
man.
be commended for your guidance, reader,
Thank you.
but only if you can prevail in this liberation rite.
I knew there was a catch.
Here you stand to gain much more than some enlightenment.
Yeah, fair enough.
Your adversaries are none other than the Tempers. I trust they need no introduction.
I don't know them, but I'm sure you're not going to help me.
One among you shall regain their freedom.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, so are we all ready? Okay, so there you go. There's the word I was looking for a minute ago. The anointed member of the triumvirate will go free if that triumvirate wins. In this case, the Temper's anointed is this guy. Yeah, so as you may recall, Volfred mentioned Ignarius was the leader of the Tempers. So, well, I guess I can basically tell you. If they win and Ignarius goes free, the Tempers will be without a leader. So I suppose you could consider that a positive, because that basically means that you won't have to fight them again in the rights until they find a new leader, which it may be a little while. So I wouldn't consider that a net positive, though, because it doesn't really help the plan. So anyway, here's Ignarius. Oh, great. How did you not see? Well, maybe they just didn't live long enough to get the horns, but, you know. Okay, slow your roll, man. Jesus. Just jump right out of your pants as soon as you see a female version of a demon. Come on now. Uh-huh. Give it to him, Joe Dario, right between the eyes. Alright, let's see what Ignarius can do. And what he's got with him. He's got the Ashen Coal. He's got a worm, and he's got somebody else. Alright, time to choose. You're back, and someone else is here. Hello to the both of you. Welcome back. Okay. I have to choose somebody to go free. Who will be first? I mean, there's not really a significant amount of pressure here, right? Like, eventually we'll all go free, as long as we keep proceeding with the rites, so... And yeah, when he says not all of you may be ready yet, that's what I just talked about a minute ago, where the three who have the highest amount of enlightenment are the ones you can anoint to be free. So, in our case, it's Hedwyn, Joe Dario, and Jay. Unfortunately, everybody else is not worthy at the moment, but that's okay. Alright, so, have I chosen who I'm going to send home first? I have. He's the only one among us who we've actually gotten the entire story of so far. Hedwyn, you're up.
Edwin.
I do insist, actually. I like you as a supporter, but you're almost always the first one to go because we get your story in the first year, unlike everybody else, or the first cycle. Everybody else, I still don't have the full story yet. Alright, so it's either Hedwyn or Ignarius, depending on who prevails here. He's going to be deserting us again. No, that's a part of the plan, so... Now, I don't like this because the one that you anoint has to be in the center, and I would rather have Joe Dario in the center if I could afford it, but, well, in this particular case, I can't afford it. So, since I can't afford it, let's just bring the big three together and hope for the best.
Joe Dario.
That's the plan. Let's see if it all works out.
Rookie.
No pressure. Like I said, we're all going to get out of here soon. It's just we have to win. That's all.
It is done.
I always get a little nervous around these liberation rites, if I'm being honest. But, you know. Just because there's more at stake here than there is normally, I suppose. So what are your roles here? I suppose they're overseeing the rites, but they're not just overseeing the rites. They're also going to play us a special tune. I will try, and hopefully you will fail. Oh, he's got a crone, too. Oh, boy. Alright, here we go. I'll take this, thank you. And thank you for the stamina, that will help, too. Good work, Hedwyn. Alright, off we go. Rookie, grab the ball. I don't really have any defense down here, but... Alright, hang on. Give him his stamina back so we can go like this. Okay. Thank you for jumping over me. That's really nice. She probably guessed that I was going to jump, but I did not. So. Nope. Got to be a little faster than that, sir. Now, unfortunately, the Luminous Idol does not work if you did not have the... Like, if you're passing the ball, it doesn't work, so, yeah. It's a little unfortunate, but I think that might work if I do this, though. Yep. Okay, cool. Goodbye. So, yeah, the Luminous Idol's pretty good, because you can just throw the ball down and then grab it, and, well, back to full stamina. Uh-oh. Go, Rookie, go. Sorry if you can't really hear the music here, but the track is called Never to Return. I would not recommend looking it up on YouTube yet because it contains significant story spoilers, but it is really good, so. It's very good boss music, considering the rest of the music in this game. I mean, you haven't worked for it so far. Let's see some of that fire, Ignarius. Well, sounds like he has somebody on the other side, too. Yeah, so every single person that can be liberated in this game has a goal on the other side. And you have to dash that hope if you want to let your members out, but, well, we serve a higher power now, so... Alright. This is a fucking curb stomp. Oh, don't count them out just yet. They haven't quite yet begun to fight, I think. I say as I walk right into their pyre like nobody's business. You want to try to get a snapcast, by the way, when you cast your aura like that, because of the fact that if you get a snapcast, it allows you to do... Oh, oops. Okay, I'll just take it in. It's fine.
There it is.
I was trying to be fancy.
The night wings
Didn't have to.
their worth.
Noxalis.
As for their
Sorry, Ignarius, but I gotta get people out of here. Good work, everybody.
Thus ends the liberation.
This game kind of sort of hurts from a moral standpoint. It's definitely very Shades of Grey. Like, I just prevented Ignarius from ever seeing his loved ones ever again by doing this, until he finds a way to get out of here by fighting his way to the top again, so.
His adversary and all others
You do have to be ruthless, yep.
It's
not easy.
Their rightful sentences.
As for how we get out of here, well, you may remember the River Scalorian that I was talking about a little while ago. This red shimmering thing in the background here is the River Scalorian, and it just reversed its path of flow to go up instead of down. How the hell that works, I don't know, but I guess we'll see how it works in a second. I mean, you have been waiting for us for a while, and technically speaking, we've been training for a while here, so... We'll see, Ignarius. We'll see. As for who's leaving... Yeah, the scribes that represents the person that you're letting leave, their statue always pops up at the end of this one. So in this case, the Nomad Scribe, Gaul, his statue will move upwards to show who's leaving, so... This game must be hell on the higher difficulty. Sounds like you're kind of chaos. It is quite difficult, although I think it's for bullshit reasons, personally, but yeah, we'll get to it. It's not long now before I'll be able to affect the difficulty in a more organic way, so stay tuned. Should be soon. Yeah, we anointed you, so it's not like anybody else can go, Hedwin. Already done, my friend. Already done. We'll be out of here soon enough. As for Fikani, this is someone for whom Hedwin cares deeply, and they were separated in the Commonwealth. This is the harp that was in his biography before, the one that he, well, found a decent friend in, if you know what I mean, on the battlefield. I'm glad, Hedwin. That conviction is a good first step for Volfred's plan to work. It's one of the reasons why I picked you, if I'm being honest. Good. Sounds like a plan, then. And we won't forget you, Hedwyn. Off he goes. So the Shimmer Pool is a seldom-seen celestial phenomenon linking the downside back to the Commonwealth. And thus, beneath a blooded moon, the Scalorian waters rise for but a moment, only to fall again. A legend of the downside. So yeah, they'll only rise long enough to get him up there, and then they'll flush back down, and none of us will be able to escape. Also, you kind of can't go into the Shimmer Pool unless you're anointed, for reasons that will be explained later. I'm sure you can guess what will happen if you try, but, yeah, we'll get there. Godspeed, Hedwyn. Walk tall, my friend. Hedwyn earned back his freedom. He is set to return to the Commonwealth and leave the downside forever. May he return in glory.
Godspeed, Hedwyn. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may soon commence again.
Let's hope it doesn't take too long. I've got a bunch of other people that want to get out of here. Alright, Rookie, let's capitalize on some of that inspiration. There we go. Nice. You almost want to buy this, but you need to torture yourself with needy streamer overload. Oh boy. I don't know what that means, but it's capitalized, so...
The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours.
As we can see from Hedwyn's example. I always get, like, nervous around the liberation rites, but in addition to that, I always feel a little bit sad after each one. Probably because the characters in this game are so good that they almost immediately, like... you almost immediately get attached to them, and then you just have to let them go. You get so attached to certain people because you use them in the rites and you see their stories unfold, and then they just have to go. It's a bittersweet feeling, and it's something I don't get in a lot of video games, which is probably why I enjoy this game so much. As for our next step, it's a game on Steam, and boy is it fucked up. Oh boy. Fantastic. Yeah, that wasn't a choice that I had to make lightly, and it wasn't an easy one either. Hedwyn has new stuff on there. He was the first friendly face we encountered in the downside, and he has regained his freedom in the Liberation Rite. Cool. Alright, what's next, Volfred? I'm ready. I'm ready to keep going. That's true, they don't really, but... Well, let's go see if the stars are ready to shine for us again. The voice made it sound like the rites aren't going to be happening for a little bit here, but let's have a look, shall we? Never know. Maybe he's getting soft in his old age. Rusty. I don't think so, though, because I see 0 stars. Well, I see some of them, the old stars, but they're not exactly shining bright out there, are they? Yeah. There are no stars shining in the sky at the moment, which means no rites. Exactly. So yeah, there's always like an off-season, quote-unquote, in between each cycle of the rites. You'll have time to prepare, quote-unquote, and usually what that means is a large chunk of pages of the book will be available to you, because we're going to rest on our laurels for a little bit at the haven south of here, and we will travel to it at dawn. Sounds like a plan. In the meantime, we have somebody waiting for me in the wagon. You recommend anyone look it up. It reminds you of Long Live the Queen, but much more modern. See, I don't know that one either, but okay. Well, maybe I'll look it up. Volfred? What's up? Thank you. I like to believe that at the moment I kind of knew all 3 of them pretty well. I've worked with them this entire time, so it was a nice, clean victory. Who am I kidding? It was a curb stomp. We destroyed the Tempers. They barely got a chance to move. Yeah, well, fair enough. You're asking for a lot up there, considering. However, because of Hedwyn's liberation, the plan's probability of success has risen by 8%. It'll rise more the further along you go as well. So, like, it's not just 8% per person. it's 8%, and then it increases more throughout the next cycle. So we'll get there. Basically, you won't know how much headwind affected the plan until the end of the next cycle when he's actually in place to help us. So, excuse me. He was a good leader, all things considered. He did bring us all together, so it's kind of unfortunate that he's not here anymore, but, you know. He had a lot going for him, that's for sure. Well, as long as he finds your agents out there, I think he'll be okay, right? So, let's hope he'll be okay because, well, you may remember that a certain adornment was attached to him, his cooking tins. Hedwyn used to do most of the cooking, but now, I guess I'll have to start cooking, won't I? Great. Let me give you a tilde. You're the boyfriend and manager of a girl who is moving out of her parents' home and making her living by being a VTuber, and you get to manage her schedule, her streams, and her mental state. Have fun. That sounds really like... I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, there are so many situations now. Like, I think there was one recently that just happened with one of the model Twitch streamers. Like, I don't remember what she does, but there was like a bunch of information that came out about her real life situation, and basically she's being abused by her boyfriend, I forget, and she does the streams because he tells her to. So I don't know, I feel like that could be really fucked up because of all the potential problems that could come around from that. So, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, the Luminous Idol is not gone forever just because Hedwyn was liberated. You get it back after they are liberated, so you won't lose it forever just because they're being liberated. So don't worry about that, because I was worried about that in the first Liberation Rite when I played this game the first time as well, but you don't have to be, because you'll get it back. So, yeah, not to worry. Alright, and then there were 6. Let's see what we can do about that. But first, we have a journey to make, so let's do that. It's not that fucked up? Christ, the most you have to do is make sure she becomes the most popular VTuber out there. Okay, fair enough, yeah. So, it doesn't get too heavy. So, let us find the way to your fancy place here, Volfred, the Moonlight Alcove. We can await the next cycle of the rites here. Cool. So I guess he's got a little place up here still. Surprised it's still hanging around, all things considered. I don't know how long it's been since he's been here, though. Maybe that's where he was before he found us in the Waking Wood. He was prepping stuff up here. So now our only option is to bide our time, after we see who's in the Black Wagon, of course. Volfred, again. You're very chatty all of a sudden, aren't you? Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. You used to be a member of the Nightwings, like, actively, didn't you? Sure, why not? I think we can ask all of these questions, unlike the one with Hedwyn previously, where you only got one, so. Does he remind me of someone I heard about long ago in the Commonwealth? Maybe I may have heard rumblings of something of his sort, so. There are a lot of things to help with stress, like telling her to take pills, going for strolls outside, taking days off of streaming. Okay, good. As long as there's stuff that allows her mental state to be, like, in good shape, that's good. Because, okay, so games allow you to have experiences you wouldn't normally have in real life, but encouraging abuse is not something that I would want to play in a game, so, yeah. Anyway, let's ask what Volfred did to earn his sentence. I know that's not a common question around here, but it seems to be the one I ask everybody else. I asked Hedwyn already, so. Yeah, well, I guess I'm more forward than most. The stamping press, huh? Yeah, remember the printing press way back in the day? Well, the Pyre world had an extension of that. The stamping press was an illegal invention allowing written materials to be published at an extraordinary rate. And in 617, after Solium, that's what AS means, the Commonwealth was under siege from within, as anti-theocratic propaganda quickly spread, trying to tell people that the rights and the 8 scribes and all that other stuff was bullshit and we should seek our own destiny. As a result of all of that, the Commonwealth outlawed literacy and tried to destroy every stamping press it could get its hands on. But obviously they didn't get all of them because Volfred had one of them, and he's not 200 years old, so yeah. So he tried to use it to right the wrongs, literally and figuratively. Right as in R-I-G-H-T, but also right as in W-R-I-T-E. Of course. You wouldn't want to put your full name out there. That would make you very easy to capture and put down here. So, unfortunately, it only delayed the inevitable for you, so. Okay, so you were also capable of deriving meaning from text as well. So Volfred is himself a reader. That's why he was able to communicate with us in English, aka reader language. So, if that wasn't clear before. Sure, we've got a whole bunch to ask you. Let's ask why the Nightwings disbanded, because that's a fair question. Like, what brought them to the point where they wouldn't conduct the rites anymore? Let me move this. There we go. So you were also lost in the desert, collapsing from exhaustion and broken legs and death. Great. But the group was a little smaller back then. There were a couple of exiles only. It was just the 3 of them for a while. Volfred, someone named Irisa, a former exile of the Nightwings who conducted rites alongside Volfred, and the final member, Oralek. I believe we've heard his name before. If I remember right, one of the flavor texts talked about a chief physician Oralek. So I guess we kind of can put the pieces together here. He was a doctor before he was thrown down here. Haven't heard anything about Irisa yet, though. I'm sure we'll be able to elucidate her identity more in due time. Yeah, you manage her mental state, and it has multiple endings. Okay, well, hopefully you can manage it into some good things. I would imagine the best ending involves her having a good mental state. Or at the very least, a good balance between a good mental state and a large following, so. Oh, and Tizo is here as well. I kind of glossed over that just a second ago from taking a drink and then leaving. But yeah, Tizo was the 4th member of the Nightwings. I want to say he didn't always participate, but he probably did more than I'm thinking. I mean, hell, they only had 4 people, so they had to swap around sometimes. Oh, that's not good. Wow, that's a terrible fate. Holy shit. You guys lost 2 members in one night, and one of them fell off the mountain? Jesus. Yeah, I could see how you would feel like that, considering. So now we know why Volfred won't participate in the rites ever again. He's lost too much as a result of them. He lost 2 close friends, the closest that he had down here, so fair enough. I guess I misjudged you. I thought you were just holding a grudge against somebody, potentially even me. But no, he had his reasons. Pretty sure the best ending more has to do with her goal of being the most popular streamer out there. She literally makes rent with her streams, yeah, so that you probably need to get a decent amount of popularity to keep her from, not having rent for the month. So that's why the Nightwings haven't been around for a while. After this accident that claimed the lives of 2 members of the old Nightwings, Irisa and Oralek, he buried the Black Wagon and prevented it from being used ideally ever, but, well, yeah, it would be for a different purpose. And there's more to the story, but we don't know Volfred well enough to really get the more to the story just yet. So I guess we can change the subject to something lighter. How do you know the Lone Minstrel? You guys seem to be pretty well acquainted. Hey, Tannum, how's it going? Welcome back. We just finished our first liberation rite here in Pyre. We let 1 person go free. So 1 down, who knows how many to go. Oh, so he's been wandering for a while now then, huh? I would hope so, considering how revolutionary, quite literally, the plan is, so. Yeah, he doesn't seem like anyone I've ever met, so... Well, fair enough. Friends are hard to come by down here, so... Oh, okay. That makes sense. I think that's it, actually. I think I'm done. I've got all the information I need. Thanks, Volfred. You too. Okay, well, we got a little more information at the very least. Let's see if Sandra has anything going on, because Sandra's waiting for something to happen. Nope, doesn't look like you have anything on your mind. We finished the liberation, right, Sandra? Not that I should really tell you that, because you can never be liberated, but, you know. One ending that is subjectively good is failing to become popular enough to make rent the first time. She moves back in with her parents. There's another where she gets her life together, gives up streaming pursuit as either a certification or a degree. Both are game over since you have to be a streamer to keep playing. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, you six, let's bide our time and take on the chance for this brief respite before the cycle of the rites begin again. And it looks like we'll be here in the Moonlight Alcove for a little while. It's a small landing on the dark side of the Sacred Mountain. For many years, Volfred smuggled supplies and furnishings to this well-hidden locale, probably for just this reason, so we could bide our time and be ready when the cycle of the rites continues. Okay, fair enough. Wow. And so, you and your companions wait upon the mountaintop in quiet solitude, anticipating when the cycle of the rites begins to turn again. Then, you shall have another opportunity to free one of your own. You may earn back their freedom one by one. Many moons pass. Then, one evening... Sure, Tariq, what's up? And as a result of your time spent in seclusion in the Moonlight Alcove, you'll get new chapters in the book. Quite a few, if I recall correctly, so we'll have some reading to do in a little bit. Alright, let's see what you can tell me here, Tariq. Well, are they supposed to shine like that? Because they're shining a little different than usual, Tariq. As a matter of fact, more of them are shining than they ever did. We have choices now. Decisions, decisions. Yeah, so there was only one path on the previous cycle of the rites, but now we can go in multiple different directions depending on who we want to fight. Yeah, and from now on you can choose from several different rites depending on who you want to fight, basically. So the first cycle is pretty similar for a lot of people. It's just really the items and the enlightenment that you get that change between person to person depending on who you use. Now, the path will be different for almost everyone because you have to pick who you're going to fight and when. So, as for our options, we can go back to Trieste the Silver Star to take on the Withdrawn again. We could go to Orez the Azure Star to take on the Dissidents again. Or we could go to Haub the Midnight Star to take on the Accusers again. Have you mentioned you love the music in this game? Because you do. Oh, I agree with you. The music in this game is fantastic. It's really, really good. Every single soundtrack that Supergiant creates is really solid, but yeah, the music in this one is particularly good in my opinion, so. Let's see. So we can go back to the cairn for the Accusers. There's the Dissidents next as well. And there's the Withdrawn. I think we're going to go fight the Dissidents, actually. Orez isn't too far away, although I do wonder how they're going to get to Orez, considering it's in the middle of the ocean. But, I don't know, maybe they swim there. Let's go find out, shall we? I mean, not everybody's going to have the resources to go to Bertrude and be like, hey, so can you make our thing into a boat? Volfred sent us. She'd be pretty pissed at that. So, it's a good question. Are we going by land or sea, or is there another way? I guess Tariq is aware he's just being coy. Oh boy. Alright then, sounds like a plan. Oh, okay. So the way that the rites work basically is that depending on the time of the year, it will, you'll either have more or less rights in a particular cycle. So in this cycle, because it's getting closer to winter, as you can see, there's little bits of snowflakes falling in the background, there will be less rights in the second cycle. So this time, I believe there's only 4. So significantly less than before. But it's fine. Once the year turns round, it'll go back to the regular, usual amount, and then we'll be good to go. So. But yeah, it'll allow us to pursue freedom faster. So stay on your toes, because that means that you're going to need to keep training. So. All right. And we can't go into the Black Wagon just yet, because I think Volfred did something interesting with it. So let's continue on our journey and find out what he did. Well, yeah, it's also a boat, so... Really? Huh. Alright, let's take a look at what refinements he did this time. I see some sails and some levers that weren't here before. Oh, huh. Are we traveling by air? Is that what you mean? Let's get ourselves, sprout ourselves a pair of wings and fly then, huh? Alright, sounds like a plan. Hang on to something. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. So yes, not only is this old Black Wagon a boat, it's also an airship. Hell yeah, dude. How in the world is this happening? Yeah, well, I mean, you have wings, but this is probably not his first time seeing this as an airship either, considering he was with Volfred in the group. So. Don't look down, Sir Gilman. Yeah, we're gonna need like a straight stretch of land to land, basically, so. Yeah, so what's gonna happen from now on, basically, is you can use this airship now to travel to the close locale to all of the places you'll conduct the rites. You can't land directly on the place where the rites are taking place, but you'll land close to them, and that'll allow you to pursue vocations, search for treasure, get some more information out of people by participating in certain events and cutscenes, that sort of thing. So it gives you a chance to still do the stuff that you did in your normal trip before this, while also allowing you to fly around in style. So, oh god, summer versus winter, yeah, something like that. What kind of Final Fantasy bullshit? Oh boy. Alright, everybody hang on, because I don't know how to steer this thing just yet, so I hope Tariq and Volfred are good teachers. So we need to seek landing near the Hulk of Auras to go find the dissidents. Let's sail the skies, shall we? So you can sail the skies at this speed. If you want to go faster, you can hold R1 and dash around just like normal. There are also blips on your radar that you can run into, and they will give you some more information about those sections of the map. I don't think they're all available right away. They'll like show up in small patches as you go through the game, so. Yeah, can't really see our way up there. Unfortunately, just like the harps, the wagon cannot quite get the altitude to get all the way back to the Commonwealth, but we'll get there. I ain't worried, and I should be worried, because I just passed through the Scribe's Gate without Celeste's permission, so we should get out of here before she curses me for eternity. I don't actually know if she can do that, but if she can, I don't want to chance it. So, let's go see what other points of interest there are on the map. I'll just take a look at which ones are available now, and then we'll head to our actual destination. Looks like everybody else has figured out that they have airships as well now, so yeah, that actually happens here. Every single other member of the Triumvirates will have an airship available to them. We were unaware, maybe they were already aware, I don't know, it depends on if they were deeply involved in this stuff or not before. What's that one there? That one doesn't look familiar. This one right down here. Huh. Maybe a bunch of exiles got together to start a new triumvirate? Are they allowed to do that? And inside of the Deathless Tempest, we actually skipped this before, but this is the Isle of Kaelmer. The rope caller got an island named after him? Great. Okay, well, fair enough. So, oh, I didn't read the Isle of Kaelmer's text, but it was on screen for a little while, so hopefully you got to see it. That one concerns me. It's probably nothing. Maybe it's just me getting... Maybe it's just me getting superstitious. Yeah, I heard Unfathomed Plurnas wasn't exactly a kind individual. So... Yeah, so the reason why it hasn't just sunk into the sea yet, like a bunch of the rest of the bunch of flotsam that's around here, is because the rites take place there, so, yeah. Thanks, Tariq. I will attempt to see what I can do. So we can land at Ragged Rock if we so choose, and Jay wants to go fishing, which is fair. If we're down here, we might as well go fishing. Jay can also have this 8 scribes bless us at the Underking Pass, or Sir Gilman would like to train in the ways of the Sea Dominion here. We didn't really have any luck with Ragged Rock last time, so I'm kind of keen to go there. I think if you go down here, you can give Sir Gilman some extra enlightenment to catch him up with everybody, but yeah, I'm kind of okay with him being where he is for now. If he gets liberated closer to last, that's okay, by my measure, so. I don't know. I feel like we should go fishing, but at the same time, I feel like we've got enough money to really last, so. You know what? I think we will go to the Fathomless Trench now that I think about it, because if it means extra enlightenment for him, then I think we'll be in good shape. Plus, then we're closer to the Hulk of Auras, so it'll make it pretty easy to get there from here, so. We've also got a new page revealed on top of the many, many other pages that are available to us now to read. I'm going to have to do a lot of reading, but we're here. How's the airship? That's okay, Sir Gilman. It was, yeah, we'll work on the airship and we'll make it a more comfortable ride. Eventually, you'll conquer that fear of heights. Eventually. As for the rest of us, while the Beyonder Crystal seeks Jay, we can judge the sparring contest that Sir Gilman is going to get involved in. Someone's waiting for me at the Black Wagon, and there's like a million things to read. So let's go see Sir Gilman and all the new adornments, and then we'll get to reading. Not a big fan of traveling by air, huh? Very, very slightly, huh? Sure. Yeah, it's takes a bit of getting used to. That's a good question, actually. Engulfed in hideous warfare, but other than that, it's smooth sailing. That's a good analogy, actually, because, like, I mean, you have wings, so it probably is second nature for you to fly around as best as you can down here, but... So it's probably very similar to crashing through the water. Oh boy. There you go. Good to hear. And as a result of his newfound courage, somewhat, Sir Gilman gains +1 hope for the next rite, which of course means he's going to be coming along. We have new adornments, as you can see. We have Waking Wood Wisps, which we got as a keepsake from the Black Basin. They provide a scarce bit of light when it's needed, all for a low monthly fee. Oh, great. Well, I suppose that's cool. Oh, good, I woke them up. Look, there they are. What about the rest of this? So, yeah, we got sails, we got all the other stuff. I can't quite see this. Canvas wings, there we go. The Black Wagon is flight capable, though by which means you do not fully grasp yet. So that's our adornment from the alcove. You also get a fancy little grease stone over here, a keepsake from Mount Elodial. Exhibits a flagrant disregard for natural law, thus providing light entertainment. And if you touch it, it'll move. And you can keep touching it and moving it wherever you want. So if you're bored, you can come in here and just ponder the orb as you will. Alright, so we have a ton of pages to read, and we have a Beyonder Crystal to go see. So we'll go work on that, but I'm not going to work on it right now because we've had a long day, and we just liberated our first individual. So let's get some rest, get ready to go to the Hulk of Auras to take on the next rite, and see if we can keep up the trend on the next episode of Pyre the Stream Edition, which will be happening early next week. I don't know quite when yet, but early next week at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And I will see all of you on the next one. I will post the schedule on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Discord tomorrow, probably about 24 hours from now. So until then, everybody, take care and have a good one. Feels good to come back here. I feel so much more at ease in the Sea of Solace than I do in most other places here. Probably because I had a bad experience with the southern section of the downside, and, well, the northern section is lava, twisting woods, and cold, none of which I'm a big fan of. But here, it's pretty nice.